from speaking out. The issue of saying we have anything to do with APC is just an imagination. When the coalition partners want to come, the coalition partners, their preference was to have SDP as the platform for the coalition. But unfortunately, Nigerians, I don't know what is our problem. Our stand is that we are not averse to having a coalition for the people that can have the people at heart, that can be ready to rescue for the rescue mission and salvage Nigeria. Unfortunately, to some of us, we felt there is no much difference from the coalition partners or most of the members of the coalition partners with those in government for the last from 2019, from 1999 to 2015. The PDP was in leadership for 16 years. After PDP, for the last 10 years is the APC. What difference has these two made? In 1999 to 2015, Atiku was the vice president. Uh, David Mark was the longest serving Senate president in the history of Nigeria. The Bukola Sarakis, the El-Rufai, the Amechis, the Malamis, they were all in PDP formally. The Peter Obi, the Concourses were all in PDP. They all held key positions in government. They were part of the reunion of Nigeria for the last 25 years. Also, all those that are in APC today, they cross carpet to APC to form APC. And what we are seeing today is not that they have anything different to show Nigerians that they are different. So that is why when the coalition partners came, we say it's not about big name. It's not about having quantum of money at your disposal, people's money, people's treasury. It's not about it. But nonetheless, just like the Hausa proverb say, when there is an outbreak of fire, if you want to quench the fire, you will not say it's only clean water that I will use to quench the fire. The good, the bad, and the ugly are all welcome toward the rescue mission. But when we are in government, certainly we are going to consider only the good, those that are patriotic and have the competence, character, and capacity to lead the country, that we are going to saddle the responsibility of leadership. But when we are trying to take over government, we don't mind. Yes, come. Everyone has a role to play. Just like the vote of Dr. Aguloy or Professor Jega is the same thing with the vote of a bandit if he's coming out to vote on the election day. One vote. So we are not going to say, okay, we have to only move the clean Senator Uba, the clean Senator Uba, and so on are going to be the only people we welcome. We will welcome everybody. But we'll make sure that we do everything possible within due diligence. We set up a criteria where character, competence, and capacity will take the lead. Mind you, Nigeria will be the third leading nation on earth in the next 20 years or thereabout after China and India. Now we are discussing who will be this. It is my turn, it is my tribe turn, it is my region turn, it is Muslim, Christian, and so on. When nations are thinking, what can they do for this population in the next 50 years? What are they? Some have stored water that they are going to use in the next 50 years. Some have issues for the education for the next 50 years and healthcare delivery for the next 50 years. We are talking about what can we do today. We are only after getting loan, removing subsidy, when government is about welfare. Government is about subsidy. Government is about services. It's not about servicing interests of few individuals that are saddled with responsibility of leadership. So this is where we stand, and we have never shied away. We have been always voicing out, so we don't have anything to do with APC. In fact, what led us to cleansing the party is some of these things that initially we realized the former leadership, there are those kind of allegations that even though we didn't care to go into it, what we are focusing is you have an issue, we have our eyes set on the ball. How can we mobilize Nigerians toward coming to the rescue mission so that we have coalition of the people, not coalition of partners, coalition of the people anchored, so that we can be able together to salvage and rescue our country. So this is our take on this. Mr. Kennedy, issue of infrastructure deficit. I want to tell you that I just answered that one invariably because with the money we have, with the subsidy removal, the trillion that came into the force of the government and into the federation account is almost about the amount for the loan or more than that. But after they're done with it, that we have to go borrowing day in, day out. No single infrastructure that was inherited, that was completed. Kaduna, the most important cities today in the country or in the north, Kaduna, Abuja, is still under construction. The railway project between Lokoja, Kaduna, Abuja, also still under construction. Then you went ahead to award a contract of 15 trillion, but yet you don't have 1 trillion to give to INEC to make sure that they have enough machines to capture each and every eligible voter so that no voter will be disenfranchised, so that we can have transparent, free, fair, and credible election. And even with the cry of Nigerians that we do not following due process, but you still went ahead to do that. So are we heading to which infrastructure? So this is what we stand for, irrespective of this. Is the SDP an appendage of the APC? I think I've answered that. We are not. We will never be. If you hear what we have been saying about APC, that we are against bad governance, and so on, you know that we are two parallel lines that will never meet from the way things are going. And I want to assure you, in the nearest future, time shall tell where we stand. And I'm sure Nigerians know what we are up to. So I don't think we have anything with the APC. But in politics, you never can stop anybody from saying whatever you want to say. But if you allow yourself to be drilled by whatever people say, you are this offended, you are that, you will not go anywhere. So we are ADP. We have nothing to do with APC, but we don't mind if there is anybody in APC that want to cross here because he filed whatever. As I told you, we need the bad, the good, and the ugly. We would not mind to avail the vehicle for him as long as he's a Nigerian, he is eligible to contest. He is welcome. But we are not contemplating anything going to be an appendage of any party. So the next question is by Shogun, the tribune. Opposition speak out during the PDP, but now it's not. I already answered that one because in reality, if you are going through the media, the social media, and co, you saw what we are doing as a party and as our members across board are doing from the presidential candidate of 2023 and other members of the party across levels. You find out that we are doing everything possible to show that yes, we are real opposition. The only thing is that we are not just blind opposition. We just say everything about government we criticize. One good thing about us in our criticism, whether as leaders of the party or as members of the party or as stakeholders, if you see the Mulikat Akambi, the lives of Dr. Bugajes and Co, these are our members. If you see through what they were, we don't just criticize, we criticize on proper solutions. If we say, Mr. President, this policy is bad, we don't subscribe to this policy. We will say this is the way to do it better. It's left to them to do. But we want to assure you when we're in government, you will see the difference. So that is it about Helen Al Mustafa. Al Mustafa is still a bona fide member of the SDP. Al Mustafa is aspiring to be a presidential candidate of the SDP, just like Adebayo. We are open and we are ready to welcome many Adebayos and many Al Mustafas into SDP. The only thing we want to assure you that we want to guarantee that we want to assure you that we will make sure that we have a free, fair, and credible process. And we are inviting all Nigerians to come on board, and we want to tell them not to be shaver on whatever. We are ready to make sure we make the difference. Because if we cannot be able to be transparent, free, fair, and credible in selecting our candidate, that means we are not different from PDP, we are not different from APC. We are telling Nigerians that we are the credible alternative they are yearning and aspiring to have, and by God's grace, we will live up to their expectations by giving them a transparent, free, and fair process throughout our primaries. The only thing we are saying is that the issue of primaries, all political parties have in their constitution, which were registered with INEC, that these are the mode of primaries that they are going to do, whether direct, indirect, or a consensus. And any sensible political party, wherever they will have a consensus, it will be a good idea. But nonetheless, if you have more than two aspirants and they refuse to adhere to the consensus principle, we are ready to make sure that we allow them under a transparent, free, fair, and credible process to emerge. So there is no any doubt about that. On e-registration, we welcome it, and there is no issue about it. The only issue is that INEC set up a timeline within which political parties to to submit their e-register to INEC. Unfortunately, they take it as about 24th of April. But even then, they contradict the Electoral Act. And wherever the constitution of the Electoral Act take precedence over INEC Act or INEC guidelines, which is just for their administrative convenience, the Electoral Act and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria take precedence. And this is where we are. The Electoral Act says each and every political party is supposed to submit its register of voters 21 days before the primary. And the last day for the submission is 30th May. If I decide to have my primaries on 9th May, is still within law. And I have 21 days to submit the list of my candidates, the list of my registered voters. So for INEC to say you have to submit it before on 4th, we challenge the INEC chairman or we drew his attention to that lacuna whereby they go against the Electoral Act and the Constitution. And there and then, the INEC chairman adhered to that, and without even before the meeting ended, he took or we collectively took a position that yes, for any party have the leverage to align with the Electoral Act that 21 days before the primary you submit the list of the register of your voters. That apart, the second aspect is that when we are agitating for e-transmission of results, if INEC that have almost 9 months or thereabout to conduct an election said they are not ready with all the quantum of resources or money that run close in trillions at their disposal, and there is no limit to the amount to be given to INEC to be able to attend to transparent, free, and credible election. If you are going to construct one road at 15 trillion, nothing stops you from giving Nigerians what they want, which is free, fair, and credible election. That is the root of everything. We have everything. God has endowed us with everything. The only problem we have in this country, our being, is leadership. If that is the only thing that will guarantee credible leadership, we have leaders that have the character, competence, and capacity to lead us out of this mess we found ourselves. I think there is nothing wrong about giving them enough resources. But yet, INEC is saying we have 10 months, we cannot be able to guarantee this. When Mahmoud, the former INEC chairman, have addressed Nigerians and said, yes, we are already set 3 years ago, we have everything it takes to transmit our result real time. So you are now telling political parties within a month or so to make sure they have an e-register when you cannot guarantee e-transmission of result. What is the contradiction? So that is where we draw attention of INEC. And also, our party are ready to conduct ourselves within law. We have already have a portal and links for registration, which we have distributed across the country to all our chapters, right from the ward, local government, state, and zonal chapters. People are registering, and I want to share you, it will amaze you to see the number of people coming on board to register with the SDP because they believe in the present leadership of the SDP, they believe in the ideology of the SDP, they believe in the transparent way from when we started about 10 months ago to date. So I want to assure we are not going to derail from that path, and we want to usher in good candidate for Nigerians to have alternative to vote from so that we can be able to rescue our country and set our country on the pedestal that the likes of Mandela said our problem is leadership. And it's not the problem of Nigeria, it's the problem of Africa and the problem of the black race. Mandela said Nigeria, unless of course Nigeria take its rightful place in the committee of nations, Africa will not have anything. But the moment Nigeria took over the leadership of Africa and the black race, I want to assure you, you will see a lot that is coming to Africa and the black race. So I thank you most sincerely for your time. And,